all think our lives are crazy, especially right now. But on Wondery's new series, Even the Rich, co-hosts Brooke and Arisha pull back the curtain and dish on someone else's craziness for a change. This show will tell the stories of some of the greatest family dynasties in history, dishing on everyone from the Murdochs to the Carters. Jay-Z and Beyonce, that is. Remember, as Queen Elizabeth once said, a good gossip is a wonderful tonic. From Wondery, the team that brought you Dying for Sex and Dirty John, Even the Rich gives you the real inside scoop on the drama that keeps these families in the spotlight. Even the Rich will give you a hilarious behind-the-scenes look into how these dynasties are built and the lengths they are willing to go to protect the family name. This show is part history, part comedy, part gossip, and all fascinating. A world where the stakes are high and the rules don't apply. So you're about to hear a preview of Even the Rich, and while you're listening, be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this right now.
From Wondery, I'm Brooke Sifrin.
And I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams.
And this is Even the Rich, where we bring you absolutely true and absolutely shocking stories about the greatest family dynasties the world has ever seen.
It's a show about power, how you get it, how you keep it, and what happens when it goes to your head.
It's also about how rich people are just like us, because even the rich love and cry and dream and hope.
And get frustrated when they watch The Bachelor.
Yeah, that too. Should we say how we met?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So 8 years ago, I hopped off the plane at LAX with my dream and a cardigan.
All right, Miley.
Okay, just kidding. I drove here. And I also found out dreams don't pay the rent. So I got a job doing valet parking.
And that's how we met. I was a valet too. We parked cars for the rich and famous.
Which pretty much makes us the perfect people to bring you these stories.
Because once you've parallel parked a Maserati, you pretty much know what it's like to be rich and famous.
Plus, we live in the shadow of the Hollywood Hills. So we see celebs in their natural habitats. Like the time we saw Jessica. Okay, are we allowed to name names?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Okay, so we may or may not have once seen Jessica Alba and Cash Warren get in a fight leaving Chelsea Handler's house. He was so drunk, and she was very mad. But, you know, that's if we saw them, of course.
I did actually see Moby while I was hiking once. He smiled at me.
Wow, congrats.
He was really impressed with how well I was hiking. In fact, he was like, "Can I learn from you how to hike?"
Yeah.
We had this great conversation.
Yeah, it's very sexy. So what we're saying is basically we're rich adjacent.
Yeah.
And we're kicking things off with one of the richest families in the world, and definitely one of the most dysfunctional. The British royals, the House of Windsor, the Crown, the Firm.
Do they seriously call themselves the Firm?
Oh, they do. Apparently, Prince Philip came up with it. The idea is that the royals aren't family, they're a firm, like a business conglomerate or a crime syndicate.
It sounds just like the mafia. I wonder if they make people offers they can't refuse.
Yeah, but it's always just tea. Take it, please. So, over the next 4 episodes, we're going to focus on 2 members of the Firm in particular, Diana Spencer and Meghan Markle. Both beautiful and brilliant women who went from commoner to royalty. Did they modernize the monarchy? Or did they whip up scandals that damaged the crown? And what did they wear along the way? I'm calling it Diana to Meghan, from commoner to royalty.
I like it.
And this is episode 1, Meghanomania.
I'm popping the popcorn and pouring the tea.
I want you to picture something. It's September 6th, 1997, and a 16-year-old girl with freckles is sitting on the couch in Los Angeles, completely transfixed by what she's seeing on TV. A group of men in black suits emerge from St. James Church. Charles, William, Harry, and Earl Spencer. They're preparing to join the solemn procession making its way through the streets of London.
Princess Diana's funeral.
You guessed it. As the carriage approaches Westminster, the camera zooms in on the casket. The shot's kind of wobbly, but then something comes into focus. A card with a single word printed on the front. Mummy. Prince Harry wrote that card, his last letter to Diana.
Oh.
Harry was just 12 years old. And when that 16-year-old girl watching in Los Angeles sees it, she breaks down in tears.
Meghan Markle?
Meghan was one of the 2.5 billion people watching Diana's funeral. I don't know if you remember, but this was one of the biggest moments ever.
I remember. Seems to me like she lived her life like a candle in the wind.
Wow, I'm gonna cry again.
It's like you're there.
I know. Well, after it was over, Meghan couldn't get it out of her mind. You might even say she became obsessed with Princess Di. Like, she got a hold of a VHS of Diana's wedding and watched it over and over.
So does this mean her falling in love with Harry was like fate? Or was it stalking?
Hard to say. For Meghan, it was like one of those kindred spirit connections, except Meghan was just a kid in California, and Diana was the most famous woman in the world. It's kind of crazy because they seem so different. Like, Diana was this upper-crust English lady, and Meghan's pretty squarely middle class. Diana grew up in a 100,000-square-foot mansion. Meghan grew up in an apartment.
Okay, what's happening here?
I'll tell you what's happening here. It's called theater, and you have a front row seat. Lucky you.
Oh, God.
But here's the thing you might not see on the surface. They actually do have a lot in common. Like, they both have complicated families, and they both know what it's like to have people see your beauty and miss your brains, and they both have loads of charisma. I think Meghan connected to all that. So she went all in. Her friend said she wanted to be Diana 2.0.
I mean, who hasn't wanted to be someone's 2.0 at some point?
That's a good point. I always wanted to be Kristen Bell. And in a lot of ways, I think I am.
Okay, well, that's where we disagree.
Okay, you always wanted her as a best friend. Well, you got her, baby.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, I'm just speculating here, but when Meghan goes off to college at Northwestern, I think she's still thinking about Diana. Meghan saw Diana as a star, someone who was a natural in front of the camera. So Meghan studies theater. And she wants to make a difference in the world, like Diana. So she majors in international relations.
International relations? It was hard enough balancing regular relations in college. I can't imagine the international part of that. It's got to be so hard.
Oh, yeah. Which is probably why her senior year of college, she takes a break from theater and gets an internship at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires. Of course, her colleagues adore her. She's smart, enthusiastic, poised. She's got everything going for her. So she decides to take the Foreign Service exam. You need to pass it to become a diplomat. And it's notoriously hard. Like Mensa hard.
But Meghan is super smart.
Not smart enough, apparently. She fails.
Shit. Does she retake it?
No, she has a better idea. She decides the world already has enough diplomats. What it really needs is another movie star.
Oh yeah, there are not nearly enough movie stars in this world.
And to Meghan's surprise, it's not easy to make it as an actress in Hollywood.
What?
Yep, her career stalls. Honestly, it's not even stalled. A car has to at least start before it can stall. And hers has not even done that. Plus, she's broke. Her only source of income is as a calligrapher. She penned Paula Patton's wedding invitations.
Oh, I loved Paula in Warcraft. She was half human, half orc. You know, she had to wear prosthetic underfangs.
That sounds really hot.
Yeah.
And we've seen her in real life, and she is just as hot.
I know. I look like her. I'm just going to say that about everyone.
Anything to bring that up. But calligraphy does not pay the bills. You know what Meghan actually needs?